Hello and welcome to Eerie Exploits, the only podcast where a group of comedians and a socialist brave a fantastic necropolis and corporate reality. If you've listened to our previous episode, you might notice that in this one we truly graduate to a proper D&D group. What do I mean by this? We lost a player already to the most fiendish of enemies of D&D, a busy schedule. That's right. Harry will not continue with the podcast, but we sent his half-orc mercenary Horn Dog on a kind of honorable discharge. You'll see. I think we truly dignified his farewell. But on the bright side, we are joined by our first guest comedian, Ivan Semashev. I'm really excited for this episode because I think Ivan did a great job on it. So without further ado, welcome to the Necropolis. Thank you guys for tagging along on this adventure once again. This is Eerie Exploits, the pod where adventurers face the most horrendous of horrors of a fantastic necropolis, corporate capitalism. With me today are our dungeon master, the jolly Joshua Sussman, and our players, the powerhouse Paulina Patara, and the delightful Daniel. Myself, I'm your host, Pavel, and our guest of honor today is Ivan Semashev, comedian, actor, director, very quality human altogether. Thanks for doing this. Let's do this. So maybe for some more context, my character Louith, KT, is an HR intern of Necrocorp who picked up the war prisoner, the dwarf Gammelalf, who fought in a campaign against Necrocorp and got captured by the half-orc Horndog. My task was to deliver him to Horndog so that Horndog may collect the bounty. Alas, when I delivered him, a tremor resulted in a small quake, and Horndog's home was swallowed by the ground into the mine below it, where Paulina's character Ursula, an owlbear, was doing her daily mining, and it left all of her colleagues seemingly dead.
Tragically, seemingly dead.
Tragically, yeah.
And so
tragically and comically.
We're actually really happy about it.
And so,
Wow.
wow.
Workplace morale was in the dumps. What can I say?
All right.
And so as the dust settles and the party rises from their rapid, unplanned descent, despite the chaos, you all seem all right. The air is still thick with clouds of dust, and it's hard to make out where everyone is exactly. But you're all slowly coming to your senses. And Gammelalf, you notice, as the prisoner, you did not have any belongings on you, but you just happen to notice that there's a corpse of a nearby guardsman only a few feet away, crushed by a large fallen rock. And so on his person, there's his pack and a shield and a hand axe. Who knows, may come in handy someday if you should choose to free yourself and take up his stuff.
Can I free myself? Like, am I in shackles or something like that?
I would say you were. I'm not sure if we decided that beforehand, but we are now. You have rope binding. It's nothing, particularly tight or anything like that. But yeah, you do have a rope binding around your hands, but you have surprising mobility as well.
I have surprising mobility. Okay, so before Louith is detecting what the heck I'm doing, I'm trying to, scratch the rope on the blade of the axe to free myself.
Probably a wise choice. And so this is mere moments afterwards. You're pretty quick on your feet. You notice the axe blade, and you immediately go to work. And no sooner do your hands make contact with the axe blade than the relative stillness that was permeating the cavern is cut by a piercing shriek. And before our brave adventurers even have time to react, they are attacked by crazed ghouls. Now, you may remember that the ghouls were previously rather subdued, and they formed a large part of the mining workforce. Not sure what happened, but they appear to be crazed with all the tremors that have been happening. We find ourselves in a cavern. The party is spread out in various different parts of said cavern. Gammelalf is in the northern region, right next to a rather large rock and a crushed guardsman. He's busy trying to free himself. We have Louith, who is in the rear at the far left, I suppose east, if we're using north, west. I know my directions. Never eat soggy waffles. There we go. West. And we have...
Dear Lord.
And we have Ursula, the owlbear, who has fallen somewhere south near a couple of rocks. And brave horn dog, whose house is in ruins. He fell in the far east. And so, as these shrieks ring out throughout the cavern, suddenly you see a barrage of ghouls. Before Horndog even has time to react, they dogpile on him. The poor guy, he was not expecting it. He's still, trying to rise from his fall, and things are not looking good. He has his axe, but unfortunately it was broken in the latest raid against Knee-Hide Kingdom, so his axe is not but a pointy stick. He's fighting valiantly, but there are 4 of them. And it's hard to make out how he's doing in the flurry of limbs and gnashing of teeth.
I think his chances are probably fine. I think he's probably fine, guys.
He'll probably be all right.
He'll make it. He'll totally make it.
And as he's engaged with the 4 ghouls, we've got 2 other ghouls that saunter on over. If you squint, you could just make out their names. It looks like they still have some name tags on them. We've got Gary Ghoul, who's moving on over. And we have Gilbert the Ghoul, who is also, moving on over. And they notice that, alas, there's no room for them to squeeze in to attack poor Horn Dog. And so, spying the party, they move closer. And so now,
wait, so
we roll for initiative. Yes.
But so ghouls are just bits and pieces of corpses put together and then put to life by some necromancer. Are you telling me he has so much emotional attachment to them that he was like, well, this is Gary, this one's Gilbert, and then at one point he's running out of names starting with G.
They've gained sentience, so they gave themselves their name.
Oh, it could be. I mean, I would think that it was just a name tag. Maybe it was their own sentience. Who knows how the necromancer magic works? You could ask, but they seem rather enraged. And we enter into the first party combat, where we would roll for initiative to see who is going to go first, the order of operations. And Gammelalf, you will end up the leader. You are the most prepared, being hyper aware.
All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to cast a spell on the group that is or maybe what I'm trying is Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
Vicious Mockery is only hitting one enemy, right?
It's an area.
It's an area. So I'm trying to attack all the ghouls that are humping on Horndog right now.
Okay, so you're going to try to save Horndog.
Horndog!
So, your Vicious Mockery, as a bard, you are, rather quick-witted, and your knowledge of insults is far-reaching. So, what do you say to this group of ghouls? What torrents of Vicious Mockery do you unleash upon them?
Call them a couple of, hey, you capitalist, soulless sponges!
And you succeed. They don't seem to mind, as you're seeing just bits and pieces of cloth and maybe meat. It's hard to tell with all the dust flying through the air.
Oh shit! Oh no,
Mr. Dog, no!
You do seem a bit distracted. All right. And Ursula? What do you do?
The fuck is going on? And I'm just gonna go into a panic rage, I think, because I'm a barbarian.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go for the ghoul that's closest to me. I believe that's Gilbert, the ghoul. So I'll just start swinging my hammer wildly at Gilbert, the ghoul. Just kind of trying to get as much damage in as possible.
All right, so you rush Gilbert, who's a little hungry. He looks rather hungry. Let's see. You swing your hammer and you make contact. Oh, it is a beautiful hit, and you just really nail this ghoul right in the chest. But
Cool.
Unfortunately, it is not quite. It was a beautiful hit, right? But I don't know. I don't know what went wrong. I think some dust perhaps flew in your eye right as you made contact, and so you slipped a little bit, and you nailed him right in the shoulder. The ghoul spins around, does a little pirouette. It's surprisingly athletic, but you do a solid 5 damage.
Hell yeah.
Maybe one of the legs that was attached
Get
to it
wrecked,
was
Gilbert.
a leg of a ballerina previously. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
It's very possible. And the name Gilbert, that's also.
That's a typical ballerina
So
name.
he seems damaged.
Yeah.
Classic ballerina. And Louith, it is now your turn.
Mr. Dog, no! And I throw a firebolt at the group of ghouls that are clawing at Horndog.
All right. And with that rallying cry that is truly inspirational, you get a direct hit. It hits the group of them, actually. It was really nice. It hits the first, let's say these 2 or so. And so now they are burning. They're still continuing their meal. They're not paying much mind to you. But they are burning, and now the air is filled with the scent of burning flesh and perhaps some kind of copper and meat, smoked meat.
Gotcha.
Something's telling me that Horndog isn't gonna make it.
Is it the smell of barbecue or?
Some slight barbecue. And so now it is Gilbert's turn. He is not too happy about being struck by a hammer, and so he swings back. Ooh, wow, he gets a nat 20, so he is
Oof.
not very happy. The ghoul uses the momentum of being struck by the hammer with a pirouette. It's if your life wasn't in danger, it would be almost graceful, almost beautiful.
So
As
he is
spins.
a ballerina.
Yeah, he really might have been, because he swings, and with the momentum, it drives his claws straight into your kind of shoulders as well. You know, shoulder for shoulder, dealing 10 damage.
Oof. That hurt.
It's
Okay.
that was a pretty gnarly hit right there. And Gary Ghoul, he sees Gammelalf and he thinks, boy, oh boy, well, as much as a ghoul can think, somewhere deep within the recesses of his mind, he thinks, boy, that looks like a tasty snack. And he approaches, and his teeth sink into the flesh of your forearm as you try to ward him off. Overall, not too bad, but he does end up doing 9 damage. I take that back. He hits pretty hard. He bites pretty hard.
It's like a 9 damage. It's like a third of my hit points. Like, what the fuck? It's just a flesh wound. It's alright.
Well, you got a lot of flesh.
You do. And now it is your turn once more, Gammelalf.
Alright. I try to swing back at the motherfucker because now I'm really mad. I try to split his head in half.
Oh, okay. So you aim for the head, and it was a beautiful swing. It does make contact, but the ghoul, he's looking surprisingly limber. Maybe this one too was a gymnast partner, because it makes contact with the side of his head, and it clips off an ear and gives him a little bit of a shave and a haircut, dealing 9 damage in return.
Alright. It's an eye for an eye here.
I can multi-attack, so I'm going to do an attack with my beak and with my claws. So I want to try and swing at Gilbert with my claws first.
Yep.
And then if that doesn't do it, I'll also try to get at him with my beak. My grandmother's better at ballet than you.
Ooh. All right.
I'm just attempting to like incapacitate as much as possible, just like get rid of arms, kind of slash him in twain if possible.
All right. All right. You make contact, you reach out, you slash, and you get several handfuls of kind of bloated, rotted flesh.
Ugh.
And
Several handfuls.
several handfuls.
I have
you
big
deal
hands.
4 damage, so it's not a lot of damage, but it's definitely something. He's looking, even though you're striking different parts of him, he's looking in about the same shape as the other ghoul. They both seem, well, I would say bloodied, but really most of the matter is it's just kind of like black goop drenched over them. They seem
Probably
certainly slower. Yeah, exactly. What used to be blood and whatever foul, well, no value judgments here. Whatever necromantic powers that were at work seem to be.
Same PC here.
Yeah. And Louith?
Mr. Gammelalf, Miss Ursula, may I remind you, these ghouls are mindless Necrocorp property. Where we can, we should avoid damaging them. And then I use
And in response, the ghouls.
And I use a cantrip, dancing lights. So this is because I figured since they are used to be ballet dancer, at least their legs used to be parts of dancers. Maybe dancing lights is the right move, and I hope that it'll distract them a little bit, so that we don't have to engage them and fight. Dancing lights are literally just lights that show up mid-air and don't really do any damage. Or torch-sized lights.
Where are you
within
attempting
range.
to cast them?
I kind of trust the dwarf less with being reasonable. I cast them at the ghoul that he's fighting.
All right. So you cast them at the ghoul that Gammelalf is entangled with? Or near?
That's right.
All right. So you cast them, and it goes off. I mean, as a cantrip, you are very knowledgeable. You've used dancing lights to entertain children and potential board members time and time again. And so it's no sweat, really. You cast it, and to your surprise, it actually seems to work. The ghouls stop their assault, and they move a little bit towards it. They are mesmerized, confused. It's very odd, but it does seem to have confused them for a second. Heck, even the ones devouring Horndog pause for a second, look back, before diving back in. So, but the ghoul near Ursula turns back to her and attempts to attack. with a bite. All of this movement and disturbances really got its hunger rolling, but it seems to have broken most of its teeth during the previous attack, and so it's mostly just gums. It launches a bite.
It's like a kiss.
Massaging her.
Do I get some health back from that massage?
It eases your skin.
Yeah, relax.
No, but you
me.
do feel like if the circumstances were different, you would feel a sense of relief and, peace.
Cool.
Cool spa day.
As opposed to disgust. Because it is slobbering as well, as it's trying to nom on your arm, but...
Ugh.
And Gammelalf, it is your turn.
All right, I turn to Louith again and be like, "Don't take away my fucking revenge of me. Your possessions are only possessing you." All right, so I'm gonna swing again at this fucking ghoul and end this miserable existence.
Go for it. It seems like it's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, I think so too. It should be an easy one.
All right, you make contact with, again, your ability to strike enemies that are barely moving is astounding. So
Exceptional.
It's very
you
impressive.
make direct contact with it, and see, is that enough? And it is. Oh, it's not quite enough. Okay, it's. Oh, you're so close. You really. You nail it with your hand axe. You bisect it, but as a rather undead creature, it's still around. You do 9 damage. It's alive, but when I say just barely, I mean it's
right.
like it's a head.
Even more barely than it was, because it was already undead.
Yeah.
So. barely alive.
I damaged it back to life. That's what I'm doing.
So you swing your axe and you manage to, I guess it's still bisecting if it's decapitating, and you get like a part of the shoulder too a little bit. And so you think you've killed it, but you see the jaws are still working. But other than that, it doesn't seem to be much of a threat.
All right.
And,
This is what a warrior looks like.
and Ursula?
What is wrong with you guys? And I aim for the head with my hammer of my Gilbert ghoul.
Ooh, okay. So you swing. Wow, this ghoul is quite lucky. It's as you're aiming for the head and you're swinging, the ghoul lurches forward and you swing right over it. It seems maybe it tripped, maybe a tendon in its leg snapped as it was lurching, and it just manages to dodge under your attack.
Shit.
Shit.
And Louith. It is.
All right, here's what we're gonna do to de-escalate this time.
Good luck.
Would you finally listen to me and stop this? And I cast a minor illusion towards the bunch of ghouls that are digging into Horndog. And the illusion that I cast is like a huge stake. Like it's just the size of a person, but it's a stake. It's raw. It's like not medium. It's like proper raw, bloody and stuff. And it's
Hasty.
it's kind of like swinging in front of the ghouls that are clawing at Horndog.
Okay, this gets their attention. They all simultaneously stop their attack and look up at the floating stake that is the stuff that dreams are made of. You seem to have certainly got their attention. They're trying to clamber on over each other to grab it. How close is this stake? Is it within grabbing distance?
No. It's always slightly out of reach to keep them occupied. And I also wanna just yell out,
The stakes have never been this high. Okay, thank you.
Screw you, Pavel.
Oh, build up.
Oh boy, this was us for the next couple hours.
Buckle up.
Well, it's you hear groaning and moaning. It seems to have worked. You're not sure where the groaning and moaning is coming from, if it's from the ghouls or if it's from Horndog himself, but it seems to have gotten their attention. And we go to Gary
just
Ghoul.
heard your joke.
Yeah. And now we go to Gary Ghoul, who attempts to bite Gammelalf, but seeing as he's just a head that is immovable, he does not succeed. So the draw is Nash, but they do not make contact.
Success.
And success. I imagine you just like move your foot out of the way of the ghoul's head, and you successfully dodge. And then we've got Gilbert Ghoul, who his leg tendon snapped, which let him avoid the blow, but now he's going to try to bite Ursula once more, seeing some tasty leg meat. But he, again, is unsuccessful due to the fact that his teeth are gone. They are not there anymore. And
Another
so
massage.
he gums on your leg a little bit, Ursula, and he's really trying. He's giving it all he's got, but you do not feel inconvenienced in the slightest.
This is disgusting at this point.
And we return to Gammelalf, who has the snapping head of a ghoul near his feet.
I turn to Louith again and be like, "What emerging leader seminar did you learn your fucking methods from?" So what I'm gonna do is there's still those 4 attacking Horndog, which are under the influence of Pavel's emerging leader method. So what I'm trying to do is I have this beautiful cast which is called the Thunder Wave,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna throw that and right in the middle, possibly killing Horndog right with it. But you know, at this point we don't know.
I think at this point
He's
it's a
so
mercy
far
kill.
gone.
You're
Yeah, right.
fine.
I give you mercy, Horndog. I give you mercy.
I'll say
Goodbye, my
because
lover. The only one I ever scissored with.
the ghouls are pretty like filled with meat and other things from their recent meal, and they're also distracted from the floating steak. So you cast Thunder Wave, and it goes off. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. You hit all the ghouls. It's this huge thunderous eruption, and you just launch the ghouls. They go flying. You see the body of Horndog also go soaring through the air with the ghouls, hit the ground and roll. And yeah, so the ghouls end up somewhat in the distance a little bit. The force was strong enough that you hear a crunching of bones when they make their impact, and you see one ghoul kind of get to his feet, and then the other ones are just a mess of body parts and bones. And so that was rather effective. And we
Call
turn
that
to
success. Again.
Ursula.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I just kind of turn back to my goal, and I want to do a double attack again, and I want to aim for his head again with my claws, and kind of like try and pin him down with my beak so I can proper like get at it.
All right, you manage to pin him down with your beak, and you just eviscerate the poor ghoul. He is no match for your savage fury and your owlbear claws, and you tear him apart. You rip him to shreds. He is dead twice over.
Rest in peace.
And so you've killed him.
Cool. Yay.
Yay! So we have a dead ghoul who's just ripped apart. There's an arm kind of over here to his left. There's other parts and meat and whatnot. You hear the moaning and growling of some of the other ghouls, but there was only one ghoul left, and it takes a few steps towards you, and then you hear more snaps and cracks, and it just face plants. Its body is broken, and it would appear that you have managed to actually. I mean, if you want, you can go through and you can finish off the ghouls, but all of them seem incapacitated in one way or another.
Keep the ballerina leg.
It was beautiful, and so now you may choose to do what you wish.
We're gonna get so fired for this, Miss Ursula.
Who are you? Who are you people?
Well, I told you I'm Louith. I'm an intern. I'm an internet humanoid relations. I brought this here prisoner, Mr. Gammelalf, to Mr. Dog for bounty collection, and then the floor broke, and then we landed on your colleagues.
How? What?
Well, all I know is that the ground has started to shake, and then we just all fell through the hole.
Right.
As you're speaking, another tremor emerges, and the entire cavern that you're in shakes. There's more rocks that start to fall. It doesn't seem like you're in immediate danger of a cave-in, but you are aware of the fact that you are in a cave that is not entirely sturdy.
It was kind of like this. Do you think another hole is gonna open up now beneath us?
But I sure as hell hope not. DM Joshua, can I do a check if I know any kind of escape routes from here, like from my work in the mines?
Can look and see. Immediately, just by looking, the normal entrances are blocked. The entrances and exits are blocked by various debris, but you can look and see if there's any other routes, if you would like.
Yeah, because considering that I've been working in those mines, I might have some knowledge of other passages.
And you roll very well, 18. As you're surveying the area, you see the entrances and exits are blocked, but you notice at the top, there's a bunch of rocks, and it seems to kind of be sloping upwards, and there's a trickle of light. And so, of course, you could see the ghouls, but it wasn't just torchlight that was aiding you in your battle. It was also light from above, and for the first time you realize, oh, perhaps there could be a way out above.
I might have found a way out of here to skedaddle before the situation gets more dire. If you see that slope yonder, I think that if we try to make our way up there, we might be able to escape with our heads intact. What do you think?
You hear the moaning and groaning of some ghouls as well. The same ghouls that you fought off in the distance.
All right, Miss Ursula, I think your idea is pretty good, but before we leave, I have to take one little thing. And what I do is, I try to, rip away a piece of cloth and then wrap the ghoul's head, which I think was Gary, right? The guy right next to me.
Yeah, you had Gary Ghoul.
I had Gary Ghoul. Okay, so
Can we please stop personifying
Shut the fuck
property?
up. Shut the fuck up. This is mine now. So I take a piece of cloth, wrap it around Gary's head, and take him with me so it doesn't bite, but I have this little ghoul head now with me, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with in the future, but we'll see.
Why
you have the head of a
would
ghoul.
you do that?
It's a trophy.
For what?
We'll see.
The ghoul kind of moans and groans in protest, seemingly, but as you wrap it, its moans are stuffed and stifled, and its jaw no longer works, and it's no longer emanating sound, loudly at least.
All right. So I have a little pet now.
You have the severed head of a company ghoul in your
Congratulations.
Who's a corporate slave now?
Okay, so I think I'll just lead the way. Just like, follow me. I think that I might be able to move some of those boulders so that we may have a safe-ish passage.
You move the boulders, and as you start to move the rocks, you notice the shift of other ones, but you're able to support them and move them out of the way. And so you have cleared a path. It seems like there's like 2 rocks or so blocking you from the surface, but between you and the other party, you could probably remove those. It's like one rather large boulder, but you could shift it out of the way and climb to the surface if you so desire.
I do. I fucking get out of here.
All right.
I think I just take one more look back at my fallen comrades and just kind of like shake my head, and then I walk out.
All right. As the gurgle of the last ghouls fades and all is still, you clamber out of the hole and back into sunlight, into daylight. And you find yourself near Horndog's place, or more accurately, near the cavernous sinkhole that was Horndog's place. And you find that you are not alone. About 15 meters away or so, there's a group of half-orcs dressed in various leathers and chainmail in various shades of grays and blacks. They're emblazoned with the logo of Necrocorp, and they seem a rather tough lot. They're looking around, and they notice your arrival, the group, as you guys clamber out of the hole, and these half-orcs, they kind of separate to make way for a much larger figure that traipses through. It's a rather large female troll who steps through the clearing and makes her way over to you. The large female troll, she steps out and approaches you guys. She's, "What are you doing here? What is going on? What is the meaning of this? Don't you know that this is a dangerous area?"
Well, ma'am.
Who are you?
My name's Ursula. I work in the mines. And they caved in on us. They killed all of my colleagues. I am in a very sorry state. I am very upset. And it is taking every ounce of my self-control to not be screaming right now. So if you could tell me what's going on, I would be most grateful.
And ma'am,
The
may
troll,
I
she is
just
not intimidated.
add that we're truly extremely sorry. We
You
can't
may
even
not.
say how sorry we are. And honestly, I was just about to deliver this prisoner, and he was
there goes the boot
behaving.
licking
He
again.
was
Let's
on the
just
worst
leave. Come
behavior. He started damaging all the ghouls. Terribly sorry. I feel so responsible for him and for what happened.
You damaged all these ghouls. I brought.
That's enough. That's enough. You're saying you were part of the cave-in. I'm sorry to hear that. That is. Are you okay?
Am I okay? No. No, I'm not. What the fuck is happening?
I see. I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Accidents, they do happen. I'm Danira. I'm involved with corporate, and we heard some disturbances at cave-in. And does the owner of this residence happen to be around? Did you see him? One, and she pulls out paper. One, a horned dog. I would very much like to speak with him.
Bad timing. Bad
Oh,
timing.
boy, I
Maybe
told you
try
we're in
another
trouble.
time. Shut up now. Shut up.
Where? I don't understand. Where is he? Did you see? You're saying you saw him?
Recently, yes.
I last heard that he was with your group.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was, but he's not anymore, as you can see.
Oh, masters. That was Horn Dog?
No, that was not. Shut up now. Shut up. Come on. Don't do this to us.
Ma'am,
You mean you left him?
Ma'am, I just want to say I did my utmost to save Mr. Dog. In fact, once the others left, I tried to revive him mouth
Shut
to
up
mouth.
now. No one wants to hear your sorry stories.
And accidentally, I might have used some fire breath mid mouth to mouth.
Are you? She's a little speechless. Are you? You seem like at least you know a little bit of what's going on here. What is your name? Are you? Who are you working with?
Oh, I'm Louith. Louith KC, ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you. I might have seen you in the canteen. I'm with Necrocorp.
I see. And why do you have a dwarf in your party, in your group? May I ask?
Well, like I was trying to tell you, I was about to deliver this here dwarf as a prisoner of war to Mr. Dog for bounty collection.
I am not a prisoner. I will never be a prisoner of your corporate state. My mind will stay free.
She kind of appraises you, and she sees that Gammelalf has, weaponry and seems to be kitted out in various gear, but she kind of looks and says, well, that's not my department, not my concern, not my department. Now, you did say that was a dwarf prisoner of war. Well, if he is a dwarven prisoner of war, perhaps the Bureau of Citizen Rights and Townsfolk, that office could help you out, and you could exchange him for a rather large bounty, if that dwarf is who I think he is.
Ma'am, I think you are under some kind of misconception as to who I am. I just work in the mines. I am not supposed to be here. I should be at work. I should be with my colleagues, alive, and be working in the mines. I do not know who these people are.
It is a blessing that you are no longer with your colleagues, seeing as they are, 50 feet under.
Thank you for reminding me, ma'am.
I'm sorry to hear about these events that have transpired. As I said, the Bureau, can probably sort you out. This is not my area of expertise. It's not my department. They could sort you out properly. I am just here to survey the land and see what happened. But perhaps something that I almost forgot. It was supposed to be a gift for a colleague, but I guess it's something, right? It's better than nothing. And so she takes out her bag and she rifles through it. You've been through so much, so it's the least I could do. It's the latest. I know this won't bring your colleagues back, but again, perhaps it's something. It's the latest alchemical achievement from the IoT, the Eye of Thought, which many of you recognize as one of the premier makers of gadgets and gizmos, as well as various other things. And she tells you, this is the might not seem like much to you, but it's a very big deal. People have waited in line for months for this. This is the My Siren 7. It's the latest in vocal aid. It's a sort of verbal assistant, if you will. You may ask it questions. It can help you. Navigation. It does it all, just about. And she hands you something that seems to be a bracelet with a fancy, breathable leather strap. The bracelet has a glowing jewel, small, inlaid in the center. And if you look close, you can almost make out something moving like a mote of emerald light. And so she hands you this thing. She says,
So she just gave me an Apple Watch?
she gave you something kind of fancy. She doesn't seem to be very good at relating to other individuals.
Did I just get an Apple Watch to console me that my colleagues died?
And she sees that you don't seem pleased, and she's a little confused because she really thought this would work. She seems really interested in all these gadgets and gizmos, and so you see her eyes light up a little bit, and she starts to tell you all about what it is and all the things it can do, and that you can ask
my
it questions.
eyes go vacant. My eyes go completely vacant. I am not listening.
Yeah, we humanely captured a siren sprite with magic, and then we coaxed it into a peaceful, interconnected coexistence, and they're so wonderful. The My Sirens, they can, manage your schedule, and if you're looking for a new job, I'm sure, it can be helpful there, and she kind of goes on and on.
Ma'am, it's kind of fucked up. If you excuse my French, that you're telling me now, in this time of turbulence, that I should be looking for a new job. I thank you nevertheless. I realize that your emotional capacities seem to be limited. I appreciate the gesture. Now if you'll excuse me. And I just go to the side and I start puking my guts out. I'm done. I'm just completely done at this point.
I just want to shove Louith aside, and I obviously have my pipe in my mouth and trying to talk to Semashev. What's your name again?
Danira. And
so
she kind of nods and she says, you can't put a price on pain and suffering, but it should help.
Miss Danira, this is your form of workers' recompensation? Is this really true? This woman...
Well, that's not really my department, but I would mention taking it up with the Bureau of Citizens.
This woman nearly died in trying to self-defend herself off of your nasty ghouls. I brought you here one ghoul.
Oh, they're not my ghouls. Oh. Kind of takes a step back. Wait, why do you have that? What? That's company property. You're not allowed to.
This is mine now, and his name is Gary.
That
is not allowed.
Dude, do you realize how unhinged that sounds to someone who doesn't know that he had a name tag? It's just you have this head and you named it Gary.
Yeah. Is Gary at least the toothless one? How dangerous?
No, Gary's not the toothless.
There is the one with the teeth. We can change that later. No worries.
I mean, you could always pull his teeth, but
all right. As Louith, I wanna. I just want to go to Ursula. Listen, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry about your loss and your colleagues, and it just doesn't seem like you will be able to work in this mine in the near future. And honestly, this dwarf, he's a menace to the public. I think
you're damn
you
right.
Should really. You don't hear this. Shut up. He's a menace to the public. I think this is now a rare chance to get some reimbursement for you, and I see it as my part of my job still to help someone deliver him and receive the bounty. How about we just take this here dwarf before he does any more damage and befriends any more ghoul heads and bring him to this office so that you can get some reimbursement.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I mean, it's not, listen, as I said, it's not my department. I am
that was
not
to
involved
Ursula.
in this.
That was to Ursula.
You said that to Ursula.
Okay.
While I'm still arguing with that woman about workers' rights.
The man is all I know. I suppose I could come with you just to excuse me, I'm still to figure out what to do in my future. I suppose I could tag along. Yes, fine by me. I'll tag along.
And then perhaps you could just
come with them.
And now we just get real excited. And perhaps we
The-
could use your siren, my
the-
siren 7, to find out which way the office is.
The bracelet comes to life and says, "Hello, hi, welcome to my Siren 7. Hello, hello,
Hello?
who
Hello.
hello,
Hello?
hello,
Hello?
Hello.
hello.
Hello?
Would you like to activate your my Siren 7?
Yes?
Yes. Okay. Please accept the following terms and conditions. My Siren 7, Media Services, Terms and Conditions. These terms and conditions create a contract between you and My Siren 7. Please read the agreement carefully. A. Introduction to our services. This agreement governs your use of My Siren services, e.g. where available, My Siren Store, the My Siren Arcade, the My Siren Books, the My Siren Fitness Plus, My Siren
Skip.
Music, My Siren... okay. Do you confirm?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to My Siren 7.
Thank you?
How may I be of service?
We are... Wait, what's the bureau called?
Are you referring to the Bureau of Citizen Rights and Townfolk?
Oh, no, sorry, I was asking you, Joshua.
Oh, yes. Well,
I think the answer is still the same.
What's the bureau
Kinda
called?
confusing.
the Bureau of Citizen Rights and Townsfolk.
Citizen rights and what?
And Townsfolk.
Okay, cool. So, please, directions to the Bureau of Citizen Rights and... yes.
Routing directions to Bureau of Citizen Fights and Grown Folk.
No, rats and
Right.
townsfolk.
Correct.
Rats.
Riots. Directing to
Right.
nearest riot.
Rats. Citizen rats.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Directing. Rerouting. Okay. Directions found. And it it gleams, and you almost see like a small arrow on your map that points in the direction, and it proceeds to tell you where you need to go. Follow the main road 3 blocks, and then turn left, and then keep following main road for 13 minutes, and go right at, and it goes on and on. And it doesn't seem like it's that far away. It's probably about a 45-minute walk, but it seems fairly simple, fairly direct.
I fucking follow the directions somehow.
Okay, yep. And it,
I
goes
assume you
silent,
guys
and
follow.
it kind of just guides. Yeah.
Can I try and cast once again an illusion, a minor illusion, but this time the smoke it kind of like strolls through the air behind Ursula, so that we're sure that Gammelalf follows.
Like a carrot on a stick.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what
That's funny.
All right, you cast it, and it goes off, and like a lost puppy, Gammelalf follows.
Oh.
We're really struggling with getting Ivan involved. I think last option would be to use
Kill him too.
Have another horn dog scenario.
Thanks for the 1 hour drive from Basel, Ivan. We're gonna.
That's fine. It's a road trip.
Do we refresh with this camera?
So my question was: is the
Yeah, that's
stream
right.
paused, or are people watching?
Oh
our...
no, we're still we're doing
yeah.
live. Say hello. Hello.
Folks in the chat, terribly sorry.
We're doing this for the first time, as you might.
Yeah, they just said just kill him. Easy. Well, okay.
Can we do a vote in the chat? Can we have a 1 if you think we should kill Ivan here now? Can we do a 0 if you think Ivan
I don't
should
see
live?
the chat. I want to see the chat.
You can.
Yeah, how many
go
people
to
are
Twitch,
watching?
and then let's see.
Like 6 or so, right?
7 right now.
80 exploits.
I figured like probably when it was 5, I thought like you guys all just in parallel also open Twitch.
No.
Yeah, I
No.
did. I did for a while.
It was too distracting, so I.
Okay, so so Ivan
bad at
voted for
this.
him to live. That's good.
Oh, how about that weather?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, weather here is quite okay. I can like, how's the weather in Switzerland?
Okay, that's enough weather talk for me.
Like for the first time when I had a gas stove and oven for the first time, I was so scared of it as well. Like I was so
I used
scared
to have
of it,
gas
like
stoves
leaving it on.
constantly. Yeah, but you get like you learned really quickly to just kind of double
Exactly,
check,
like you
triple
adapt
check,
to it.
yeah.
Like today, for example, when my mom's plays and she has like a like I don't know how to say that in English.
Yeah,
Like,
what's your favorite kind of stove, chat?
But yeah, gas stove. Yeah, sorry,
Spicy
it's
boy 1.
Hell yeah, guest up. Well, I'll tell you who
Amazing
it is.
small talk. Yeah,
it's
you're
one
fucking
dedicated
welcome.
audience member. I'll give you that.
I'm me. Hello, I'm me too.
Hey, Spicy.
Amazing. Oh, Ivan's coming.
He lives.
Back in. Yay!
Yay!
We made it.
Back from the dead.
All right, well, without
Do a
further
kickflip.
ado, Joshua, hit it.
All right. So you find yourself walking towards the bureau. The road is dusty but filled with lots of small talk about the weather and various ovens, preferred methods of heating. But eventually, you come across you find yourself approaching the Bureau of Citizen Rights and Townsfolk. Your My Siren pipes up, chimes in, and says, "Hello, you are approaching your destination."
Hello. Thank
Hello.
you. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you for guiding us here. That is all. Mischief managed. TM.
You're welcome. And if you'd like to change any of the settings, such as the color and the voice, you can do that in the settings.
How do
And don't
I
forget to
access?
update. And thank you for utilizing My Siren 7.
How do I access settings?
Simply request
Settings, please.
settings. What would you like to change?
Voice, please.
Voice. Okay. Would you like
Literally
to
any
select
other voice?
default 2? Default 3? Default. These aren't the various.
You dug yourself into this. You're gonna fucking lie in that grave.
Would you like? Would you like default 1 or default 2? Hi. Default 3. Is there something that you are looking for in particular?
Default 2 sounds good. I request default 2.
You think Joshua remembers which one was default?
No, I know which one.
Oh, he remembers.
He just
I know
regrets all of his
exactly-
decisions.
What I want to do, I just don't know if I can do it. Okay. Sounds good.
Default 2 is Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, yes.
No. Mickey Mouse is default 5.
I request default 5.
Oh boy. Would you like default 5? Oh, alrighty
do.
then.
Okay, wow.
Well, all right. You have arrived at your destination.
I told Joshua that he usually hits 2 different voices when he's doing characters, and he really took that to heart to increase his range.
Okay,
I had a very specific siren voice in mind, and the moment I started, I realized I cannot do this.
Hi, Pavel here, your host. We really hope you're enjoying Eerie Exploits this far, and if you want to support us in making more episodes, then you can always donate to our Patreon. That's Eerie Exploits on Patreon. And if you're a little short on cash, hey, no sweat, just perhaps tell a few friends about the podcast if you think they'd enjoy it. And also, did you know that we have a Twitch account? In fact, that's where we are always streaming our sessions live. So if you hear us refer to someone as Spicy Boy or some other nickname like that during the episode, those are the folks who are chatting with us on Twitch while we are playing. And right now we have recorded a first season. With your donations, we might do a season 2, and then you can watch live on Twitch. That'll be swell. And otherwise, no, that's it. Let's get back to the episode.
All right. So as Louith, I go, oh, wow. Well, ma'am, let's bring this the prisoner to the bounty desk real quick before he realizes that the smoke that I encountered is not actually physical smoke, and he can't really smoke it.
Breathe in, Gary. Breathe in. I'm trying to get Gary to breathe in all the smoke, and like I wander around like trying to catch the smoke with it.
I take it you guys move towards the bureau. You enter the bureau, and it seems to be a fairly standard administrative office. You notice an elderly orc working behind the main desk. He's got a rather glorious mustache, but otherwise he seems friendly enough. There's a few individuals shuffling about. Most people sitting, waiting. There's some boards and posters, and you notice on the far side of a wall there's a rather large board with a individual kind of coolly leaning against it, but he's kind of cloaked in shadow, and the orc looks up to you. The orc is reading some papers, and he notices some new people enter. He goes,
How can I help you? Next patron?
I still have the letter that I had on me when I picked up Gammelalf in the prison facility. So I hand it to the orc, and I say, "Oh, well, we're here to request bounty, to collect the bounty for this here dwarven war general of the Knee-High Kingdom."
War general of the Knee-High Kingdom, I see. I remember back when we weren't always at war with the Knee-High Kingdom. Those were good days. I was a young, strapping lad back then. I was still married to Cynthia.
Really, just the bounty would be fine. That's all we need.
Yes. Yes, bounty, okay. He grabs a paper, and
Yes, all right. Interesting. Let me.
And he's looking at the paper, and he's looking at you guys. He's looking at Gammelalf, and he seems a little confused, puzzled.
You said this was a bounty for General Half-Ear. Correct?
I believe that was his name. That's what it said on the letter.
Let me check some of my records.
He starts to rifle through some old records, papers. He pulls out a description, and he's reading it, and he says,
Well, it says here that General Half-Ear is known for, his half-ears. And this ear dwarf seems to have all of his ears.
Oh crap. Okay, I walk over to Ursula and listen, ma'am. I mean, it seems that this dwarf was mistaken for a different dwarf. I'm terribly sorry. I figured, they always say that the Necrocorp mercenaries are a little bit racist, but I figured they could tell a difference between one dwarf and the other. I'm so sorry. Apparently what the difference is, the crucial difference is that our dwarf's ears are not half cut off. There is an obvious solution, but it does seem inhumane to cut off the poor fella's ears now.
Do I hear this conversation?
Well, are your ears still full ears?
Okay, alright, okay. What the fuck? You racist piece of shit! Yeah, first, you mistake me for another dwarf. I'm so not this guy. Second,
I'll
I
struggle.
am not a prisoner, as I told you multiple times before.
I'll struggle to comprehend how you have your job. How can you be so bad at this?
Well, it wasn't I who picked up the dwarves.
Yeah,
and
right.
I didn't... Ma'am, I'm trying really hard.
Excuse me. I'm gonna need you to move out of the line. You're blocking the line. But if you're looking for gold, you can consult the bounty board of opportunity over on that wall to the right. And there's a gentleman over there too who, I don't know, he was offering some sort of jobs or something.
I guess this is the best course of action now that we don't get a bounty and you can't really work in the mines, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, I am too. And I just kind of walk over to the board and just kind of pretend to peruse because I obviously have big trouble reading. But I'm just kind of like I'm just pretending to like look at it and like,
Found
and like maybe
anything
I'm
you
not
like,
even
ma'am?
looking at. Maybe I'm just looking at the disclaimer piece of paper. I don't fucking know. Like I wouldn't know.
You notice you don't read so good, but
No.
you do notice there's lots of pictures, and there are some, and you also notice that there is a plugin it says My Siren 7, Yellowtooth compatibility, and yeah,
Smooth.
Pairing. Pairing available.
Pairing? Are you sure this is the right place and time to be pairing?
Would you like to to the board of opportunities? There are
yes.
15 jobs available in your nearby vicinity.
Please elaborate on those jobs.
Looking. Oh boy, we're looking for a full-time goblin nanny. 13 years experience. Except
Skip.
intern for apprentice blacksmith. At least 7 years experience needed. Insurance
For an
rates in front of lava and
apprenticeship?
blade cuts not included. Serious offers only.
Skip.
Ha-ha.
I mean, it makes sense.
Are you passionate about exploring new ways to connect with history? The Necrodome is looking for combatants to fight in front of a large amphitheater audience. No experience necessary. Unfortunately, we're only accepting part-time applicants at this time. If you've got what it takes to support us in our mission to bring the most exciting form of ritual combat to the masses, then apply at the Necrodome today.
Okay. Keep that one in mind.
At hearing the ad for the Coliseum, the man leaning against the wall kind of straightens up a little bit, and enter Ivan. In this case, he will be, voicing this man.
Hey, I couldn't help but overhear your little device. They mentioned the Colosseum.
Uh-huh. Who
I
are
would
you?
suggest.
sir?
Oh, great, another one with speech impairment.
Excuse me. Anyway, I was saying that this Colosseum, this dome, this beautiful arena. You should check it out.
I've been making the most time off his screen.
Yeah. Okay, as Louith, I turned to Ursula. I was like, ma'am, I think he might be onto something. And it seems this man has asthma, which, is not uncommon in the population that lives nearby mines because of all the coal. And if he can make a living from the Colosseum, I think probably you could as well.
I will say that I have made a living for myself. As you can see, I am dressed, which means that I can buy clothes, and that should be enough money for whatever you are looking to do with it.
I gotta say, I love this joke, but it makes one so anxious when you're also on a stream and you never know if the connection got interrupted or not. It's like,
I'm just talking normally.
yeah, totally.
500 pay.
How good is the pay, sir? In 3 words or less?
Very good. Yep.
I said or less.
I'm trying to figure out the perfect kind of number to give, because I'm trying to read all the social cues and figure out like what would be like the highest possible amount for this person, for whoever I'm talking to, and I'm like 5.
5 what?
And a half.
Are you boys talking about the Colosseum?
We are?
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Yeah, mighty fine pay Colosseum work, Oh, if I were 30 years younger and still had both my good knees. Oh boy, I think I would have made a fine warrior. Yes, you see. Because ever since I was a child,
Okay, we get the idea. Thank you, sir. It's been a great useful time.
My Siren 7 activate?
Oh boy, how are you? Hi, how can I be of service?
Would you be so kind as to lead us to the Necrodome, I believe it's called?
Are you looking to fight in the Necrodome?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, wonderful job opportunity. Brought to you by Necrocorp.
Oh. Necrocorp, huh? I should have guessed by the name.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
about it. It's good, people.
Right. Who are you again? How do you
Also-
introduce yourself?
That's a cool, non-specific animal character voice your device has. My name is.
Yeah, I have other settings too,
Those settings will be ignored.
But yes, I can show you to the Necrodome if you so should desire.
What? Thank you, sir. What is your name? What shall we call you?
Call me Carney. Carney. Carn.
Carny card?
Oh,
Carn.
Carn?
Mhm.
How's that spelled?
Yeah. K.
have a hairball in your throat? Are you okay, sir? Do you need medical assistance? I can do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, I think he nodded.
Well, Mr. Karn, lead the way, I guess.
Come with me. Are you going just by yourself, or all of you? I suggest all of you.
Right.
I still feel responsible for all of this mess, ma'am. I'm so sorry. The least I can do is join you. I think a spellcaster at your side you'll find me quite helpful.
The administrator, Orc, he also has been just reading through various papers, and he goes, "Oh, I should mention that. Yeah, you've got that dwarf that you have there. He may not be General Half-Ear, but should he get into any trouble, well, actually, can I have you guys sign this real quick?" And he gives you like a paper to sign. Just before you leave, you could just sign here. It would really make
Before
my job
anyone
easier.
gets the paper, I just rip it out of the hand and start reading it.
Does he
Kind of
succeed?
snatches it back. Smooths out the crinkles. It's not for you. It's and he hands it to Ursula and Louith.
My Siren 7.
Yeah?
Yeah. My eyes are tired. Would you be so kind as to read aloud what this piece of paper
Oh, but
says?
of course. Well, would you like me to read all 317 pages?
A brief summary would suffice.
Brief summary. Okay. Please hold me over the document in question.
I do so.
All right.
In short, this document
I thought that was a summary.
transfers ownership rights of the dwarf, known as Gammelalf, to your possession.
Possession?
What?
Not your
I'm a
possession.
slave
you don't,
now?
You don't own him per se, but seeing as he is not a lawful citizen of this realm, should he leave your possession, it's more, guardianship. Because should he leave, he will promptly be imprisoned, as he has not been brought here by lawful means, and his previous guardian, Horndog, did not show up to the appointment to turn him in.
Right. Right.
It's very convoluted, even for my Siren 7 such as myself.
Gammelalf, sir. I feel like until we have a more elegant solution to this issue, would you be so kind as to go along with this for the time being? I feel like we should figure out a way of you getting citizenship and a legal means of staying. But until then, we should stick together, wouldn't you say? Your physical prowess is quite impressive.
All right, I will do just that, but under one condition.
Yes?
I want your watch.
My what? my what?
I want your Eye Siren 7.
Why?
Because I'm changing away my freedom, and I want to get something in return.
Man,
Okay,
doesn't
so
have
I
to.
wanna-
Please!
Man, my daddy.
I wanna just like pull Gammelalf aside a little bit from the others. Just like, all right, let's discuss this for a second. If you'll excuse us, gentlemen. And then I just kind of pull you to the side. Here's the deal. You might have noticed I have trouble reading. Yes.
Yeah.
I will trade you my Siren 7.
No, please.
If I may use it to aid me in any kind of visual reading kind of activities. Or you will take over that job for the watch. Do we have a deal?
We have a deal.
You will not breathe a word of this to the others. Are we understood?
All right.
It's
Hey,
settled.
give my hand.
I shake hands. I shake hands and I hand over the Ice Siren 7.
Now. I am not perhaps built to understand the customs of your kind, but as my new owner, I will try.
All right.
You can do it, Siren 7. You can do it.
Is it a my siren or I siren?
My siren.
Oh, there you
My
go, my
siren.
siren.
My siren. Okay, my siren. Change my settings.
You're now my Siren 7.
Do you have
Original.
anything,
Okay. All right. Thank you for recalibrating your My Siren 7. It is such an honor to meet a new race such as yourself. I think that we shall be besties.
Besties.
Yeah.
You know what, Miss Ursula? Here, have the watch. I don't want to have it. Just have it. It just called me a buddy. Fuck this shit. And I hand over my Siren 7 back to Ursula.
No, actually,
Yeah, you're gonna give it back.
This siren is gonna have like real abandonment issues after this.
Oh yes.
anyway.
I think they are playing
So
for potato.
all I have to do is sign this contract?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right. Yes. Right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I just kind of like put like a fingerprint on it because I obviously like don't know how to spell my name. So yeah, just a thumbprint.
And in the event that something unfortunate should happen to you, Louith, right? I think I saw your name somewhere in my files. Would you mind signing as a secondary beneficiary guardian?
Wait, that was not part of the deal.
Just we wouldn't want you to become stateless once more without your papers.
Boy, I did say I feel responsible, and I still do. And as I sign it, I also kind of like turn to the orc and whisper, "Listen, sir. Now we both know this dwarf. He doesn't look like he's from around here, and the Nihai Kingdom, they're still at war with us. Is there any kind of paint or mask or some sort of disguise we can put him in so he doesn't get us into trouble and doesn't get hurt?"
Disguise. Well, we were painting the back room recently. Hold on a second. So he kind of hobbles off and comes back with kind of like a bucket of green paint. And
What?
well,
You're gonna Shrek it? Are you gonna Shrek it
No,
for
you're
him?
not gonna do this to me.
Is that green face?
Yeah, this is orking.
I suppose he could pass for some sort of goblin with a skin condition if you know, kind of.
I'm having the worst day of my life.
Look, this is for your best now, Gammelalf. All right. So just please don't punch me for this. I'm just gonna take this bucket and pour it over you, okay? And just relax. All I'm trying to do is keep you safe, because I'm your guardian now.
and
I wanna roll an
I
unarmed
attempt
strike
to pour the
Louith.
bucket of paint over Gammelalf's head.
All right, and Gammelalf, what are you trying to do?
I want to try an unarmed strike at Louith while he's doing that.
All right, let's see. You're surprisingly spry for, a dwarf. And you manage to dodge most of the paint. You still get, a bit splattered on you, but you dodge most of it. And as you swing to strike Louith, you do end up slipping on some of the paint, though, that was on the ground. Your heel catches it, and you totally slip and fall straight on your back. You miss. It's quite embarrassing, but you did avoid most of the paint.
Oh boy, it's
Darling.
gonna be troublesome taking care of this one.
Well,
Yeah, you better take care of the floor now, bitch.
it's your problem now. Any trouble that he gets, the administrator, he's reviewing the papers, and he says, any trouble you guys get into is, any trouble that this dwarf gets into is your responsibility. So I would recommend keeping a close eye on him, as the dwarves of Nihai Kingdom are enemies of the state, and he may not be viewed too kindly. But would you go into the Coliseum? I think the event is starting soon. If you wanted to fight today.
Yes,
Mr. Carr?
it is about time.
Mr. Karn? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
He's not sure himself.
Mr. Karn, would you be so kind as to guide us to the Necrodome Coliseum?
Why, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so hold on, let me find his name. Kern leads you to the Necrodome. It's not even that far away, and let's see. As you're carrying along the road, it seems fairly well traveled. Not very difficult, fairly safe as well. Not like you have to worry about any sort of trouble. And as you are traveling for some time, you see in the distance a towering structure looming large. The Necrodome is a huge marble coliseum rising from the ground as a dramatic statement of wealth and splendor. It's dark as ebony with veins of red streaking through the stone. Banners decorating the outside are flapping in the wind, and it seems large enough to seat thousands. And today it seems it shall. And you approach the Necrodome.
Thank you for listening to Eerie Exploits. Today we were joined by our guest comedian Ivan Semashev. You can find and follow Ivan on Instagram as Ivan_Semashev. As always, our players are Paulina Patara, that Patara on Instagram. Daniel is Daniel Gagarin. Joshua, our DM, is Joshua R. Sussman. And me, your host, Pavel, I am Pavel Comedy. Thank you so much, and we'll continue our adventure with Ivan in the next episode.